Hey, Shalom, ye men of Israel, by Yahshua Dawadah, house of David. I want to start off by giving all thanks, all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Wahara Karkadash. Yahweh being a true Hebrew name of the Heavenly Father, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, but Yahweh, which is Hebrew for He is to be, to exist. His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. That name will have to be in the Hebrew, and it is Yahushua, and it means He saves, He delivers. He is our salvation. And Ruach HaKodesh, which is the Holy Spirit, which is moving throughout this earth, by the mentioning of this word. I'm going to give double honors to the elder apostle, great millstone, who rule well, teach well, peace, and salutations to the hopeful elect that are pushing His truth and sincerity. This is your brother Benan Bond of the Dollar GMS camp, coming to you again with another lesson, praying that this lesson is edifying. All right. So this article here actually caught my attention. And brothers done lessons on, these underground bunkers, being built by these billionaires, these celebrities, because they know something is in the wind. They know something is up. So I wanted to read this article, ask AI some questions, and I pray that this lesson will be edifying. So the title from the cool down is "The Architect of the Apocalypse is Building Underground Worlds for Billionaires to Outlast the End." Well said, because we are in the end. And the people, have a sense that this is the end because things are starting to change and crumble. America's actually declining, And there's whispers, with the common folks saying this is the end, but people are too distracted. They're too locked into this world to really know what that means. Well, who has the answers? It tells you that in Amos 3 and 7, that the Most High revealeth His secrets to His servants, the prophets. So you have the prophets on the highways and byways, basically let you know the will of the Most High, the intent of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai as it comes to this world, starting with America, which in the scriptures, Revelation, is known as Babylon. So let's read this article because this is a time-sensitive article, If they're building underground bunkers, then they suspect that something is about to happen in the form of, World War III? You see? It says that in Revelation 11 and 14, it says the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So they suspect something's about to happen. All right? So we'll read the article, again, get some precepts, ask AI some questions, and see, I pray that this lesson will be edifying. It says, for some ultra-wealthy preppers, a basic bunker filled with supplies may no longer be the goal. It says, according to the Daily Mail, the architect of the apocalypse, is working on elaborate underground compounds for government, military, and wealthy clients, intended to keep people alive below the surface for years. So that's the thought process of these underground bunkers. That if an ICBM missile does land, or hits, which it will, because the Most High has said so, that they'll be protected if they're under the ground. So we'll read on and say, what happened? It said, in Philip Pauli's description, these are expansive, self-contained environments, not stripped-down emergency shelters, because you have preppers that are prepping, for a food shortage, zombie apocalypse. So you have preppers that are buying extra water, buying bread, things that they can, I wouldn't say bread, but I would say canned food, peanut butter, things that have a pretty long shelf life. So that's why they made this statement here that it's not an emergency shelter, meaning that it's supposed to last long and protect you from, radiation or whatever, pelts America in the form of the ICBM missiles. It goes on to say, the architect, who calls himself an operational resilience architect, said that he is designing closed-loop bunkers for wealthy government and military clients that can be as large as an aircraft hangar. Goes on to say with private rooms, communal spaces, hydroponic farms, fish tanks, and lighting that mimics daylight and nighttime. He said the bigger problem is that many existing bunkers are built for a short-term survival with timelines measured in months rather than years. So he's boasting that what he can build is going to last several years, okay? Meaning that even after the bombs, land here, okay, in America, okay, radiation is going to be up there. So they can't go up there. So they want to stay in their bunkers to outlast the radiation and at some point in time resurface. All right. So I had a question for AI. It says, let me read this other part. Parley argues that dangers, including asteroid strikes, thermonuclear war, and climate-related food system collapse, call for much longer planning horizons. It's not doom-mongering, it's prepping, he said, per the Daily Mail. That scale comes with staggering costs, Parley said. Construction alone can reach the hundreds of millions, while the interior build-out happens under a shroud of secrecy. Now, it said that he's building it for, people that can afford it. All right? Government, celebrities. What else did he say? Billionaires. All right? Speaking of billionaires, let's get this other article. Because the way he's describing these bunkers, no one can afford it. So this article here says, all right, we're going to read it in Newsweek. Open. All right, this article says, are billionaires prepping for the end of the world? Inside the rise of luxury bunkers, private escape plans, and elite survivalism. It says something is unsettling about watching the richest people on earth make private plans for disaster. At the same time, ordinary families are told to stay calm, recycle more, budget better, and trust that the system will hold. Right? So they are in the know. And that's the reason why they're building these bunkers. Revelation 12:12. Okay. Let's go ahead and get that. Okay, this is, we'll get into KJV. Revelation 12:12, it reads, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So these individuals, okay, the tech elites, okay, they are in the know. They stay in the know because they're linked with the government, okay. A lot of their, businesses is linked to government, all right. So this guy here is no different. Mark Zuckerberg, you see. So they know something is going on where the average people, they can sense it, but what can they do? They can't afford underground bunkers, okay, to this magnitude. It says this is not ordinary emergency planning. It is not a flashlight in the kitchen drawer or a bottle of water. We are talking about fortified estates, luxury bunkers, underground apartments, guarded exit, medical rooms, backup power, food reserves, water filtration, and remote hideaways built for people who can afford to turn global anxiety into real estate. I believe Mark Zuckerberg built his underground bunker in Hawaii. All right? But a lot of these bunkers are already built. So I asked AI, let me see if I can get it. All right, let's see. I asked AI, what did I ask? Basically, can a bunker, underground bunker, withstand an ICBM blast? And it said underground bunkers can can potentially, my mouth is dry, Slovakia, withstand an ICBM bomb, but their effectiveness depends on factors like the bunker's depth, construction materials, and the specifics of the nuclear explosion. He said, generally, a well-designed bunker can offer significant protection against the blast and radiation effects of an ICBM missile. All right? So this architect guy claims that he can build you a bunker that can withstand an ICBM blast. And this is backing that up as well. But the wealthy are already billionaires, and the government, okay, have their bunkers already, man. Ever since the Cold War, okay, they started building their bunkers. Let's see, let's click this one. All right, this is an article that I found. It said, inside the government's top secret Cold War hideouts. Okay, let me arrow back one. Okay. So I asked the question, what does the government underground bunkers exist? It said the government has underground bunkers in various locations, including the Central Government War Headquarters in Corsham, Wiltshire, England, and the Raven Rock Mountain Complex in Pennsylvania, USA. It said these facilities are designed to ensure continuity of government during emergencies such as a nuclear war or a nuclear attack. All right, so the Raven Rock is actually in a mountain, you see? So these bunkers already exist for government officials, even to the point where the government officials, they're going to be protected for a little bit, okay? But at the same time, you have individuals that are told to what? Just pack food and, shelter at your home, pack enough water, toilet tissue, all that stuff. But those individuals are going to be what? They're going to be out in the open. They're not going to have a covering. You see? So I wanted to get this. Let's see. All right. Raven Rock. It said the story of the U.S. government's secret plan to save itself while the rest of us die. Well, those that are going to be, tasting the death of the nuclear blast are those that the Most High intended, okay, to eat a missile. You see? So you're going to have the 2/3 of Israel, those that are now hearkening to the voice of the trumpet of Yahweh Shem Shai, because he bid them return, okay? But it comes with the fear of the Most High, but also a repentant state of mind, okay? And to depart from the ways of this world, which is wicked. And when you cleave to this world, okay, meaning you love this world, then, hey, those things that are corrupted by this world, okay, have to be reset. So this article is pretty good. It said Raven Rock, the story of the U.S. government's secret plan to save itself while the rest of us die. You see? Because it talks about, let me see, I'll read. It said, a fresh window on American history, the eye-opening truth about the government's secret plans to survive a catastrophic attack on U.S. soil, even if the rest of us die. A roadmap that spans from the dawn of the nuclear age today. It says, every day in Washington, D.C., the blue and gold 1st Helicopter Squadron, codenamed Muzzle, flies over the Potomac River. As obvious as a presidential motorcade, most people assume the squadron is a travel perk for VIPs. They're only half right. While the helicopters do provide transport, the unit exists to evacuate high-ranking officials in the event of a terrorist or nuclear attack, okay, on the Capitol. It says, in the event of an attack, select officials will be whisked by helicopters to a ring of secret bunkers around Washington, even as ordinary citizens were left to fend for themselves. You see? And that's what an unrighteous ruler would do. Let's get that. I believe that's Sirach. All right. 10 and 3. It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. Now, America is not going to be inhabited. You see, once America is burnt, as it says in Revelation, it will be uninhabited. Okay, it's just going to be owls and little creatures here and there. Okay, because the radiation is going to still be here. You see, and it says the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time He will set over it one that is profitable. See, the one that's ruling right now is unprofitable. Okay, and He knows that he's unprofitable. Because what's today? July 4th? Okay. America is celebrating their independence. And today, I want to say, marks 249 years, almost 250 years since America has been in rulership. Let's see here. So I asked AI, I said, throughout history, how long did nations rule? Okay, let's see if it can answer that. And it answered, it said colonial powers typically ruled for about 150 years on average, while empires often lasted around 250 years before dissolution or transformation. You see? And I asked AI, we're using AI, the Most High gave, Esau, Edom, the knowledge to create AI. Hey, He meant it for us to use as well. So I asked AI, how old is America today? It says, as of July 1st, 2026, the United States is 240 years old, having been founded in July 4th, 1776, with the adoption of the Declaration of Independence. So today is a birthday, okay? And it marks 249 years, and we just read, right, that most empires only last 250 years. So America is declining. America is almost up. You see? We read Revelation 12:12 that He knows that He has but a short time. Let's get that Job 14:15. Job 14:15, it reads, Slakia. Okay, first and foremost, we'll get 4. It said, who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Let's read it again. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. And it says, seeing His days are determined, the number of His months are with Thee. Thou hast appointed His bounds that He cannot pass. So America is 249 years old. Okay, and most empire, because America is an empire, has cities, okay, states, right? It's 249 years old today, and empires don't go past 250. So America knows that, all right? So that's why they're building these underground bunkers. They're prepping. These elites have money. You have underground bunkers that's already been established for government officials, because they know that World War III is right around the corner. And we quoted that in Revelation 11:14. The second war is past, and behold, the third war cometh quickly. So that's why they're doing all this prepping, all right? But it's the Most High that's doing all these things, man. You see? Daniel 2:20 say He removeth kings. Let's get that, Daniel 2:20. All right. The Most High gave the power to Esau, Edom, Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. So the Most High is going to take this power back from Esau, Edom. Okay. And because of his wickedness and the fact that he hurt the apple of the Most High's eyes, the Hebrew Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latino, Native Indians. Okay. America is just drenched with blood, man. Okay. The blood of the Gadites, our brothers. Okay. So-called Hispanics are being pushed back to ignore Slovakia. I don't know where this came from, Slovakia. Let me get this off my page. All right. So America is at its end. This is Daniel 2 and 20, and the Most High is doing all this. Daniel 2 and 20 says, Daniel answered and said, Blessed be the name of Yahweh Bashim El Shah forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changes the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. Okay, so we know that the Most High is the power that gave Esau Edom, okay, as it says in Genesis 27, and I want to say 38, 39, the power to rule, but it was only temporal. It was only temporary. All right, and that power that the Most High gave Esau Edom is at an end. And what's going to bring that end to Esau Edom is the ICBM missiles. Okay, now right now Esau Edom is moving desperately because he knows that he has but a short while, man. But he thinks he's going to be able to fulfill his enterprise. But the Most High says otherwise. This is Job 20 and 22. Job 20 and 22 reads, In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh Bashim El Shah shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So Esau Edom actually believes in his mind, because the Most High, okay, is stirring up his mind to believe a lie. Job 12 and 16 says, the deceiver and the deceived are his. So Esau Edom actually believes he's going to be able to accomplish his enterprise. But the Most High is going to take that power away from him, okay, and deal with them with the ICBM missiles, man. In fact, let's get that. Isaiah 24 and 19. Isaiah 24 and 19, it reads, The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. Now, what's going to make the earth this huge planet? Okay, the earth is huge. What's going to make this earth rock to and fro? The ICBM missiles, okay? Over 300 million that's going to be launched, okay, against the whore that ruleth, okay, upon many waters. That's America. It says, Isaiah 24 and 20, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. Now, what's going to have the power to be able to, rock the earth like this? And again, the ICBM missiles, the intercontinental ballistic missiles, that's going to be launched by all these nations, okay, that hated the whore. All right? The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. And a transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. It says that in 2 Ezra 6 and 9, for Esau Edom is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So this kingdom of Esau Edom is done. So they can keep building their underground bunkers. They can hide in them. Okay. It says that in Revelation 6 and 13. Let's get that. We can end off on that, man. This is Revelation 6 and 13, and it reads, And the stars of heaven fell onto the earth, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Okay, now this can be taken two ways. All right, that can refer to the ICBM missiles crashing upon America. You see, that can also be the elites that are falling from their heaven. This is 14. It says, And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their place. So we've seen that mushroom cloud that was at Fahrenheit when America actually tested it. I forget the experiment. It escapes my mind, but they played on the movie Oppenheimer, okay, where they tested a bomb, the nuclear bomb, in some desert, okay, to see the validity of it. And the light, just they have to put on the shades, the goggles, because that light was so bright, you see. And then it rose up with the mushroom cloud, okay, which, it says what? It covers the sun. All right, goes on to say, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, every free man hid themselves in the dens in the rocks of the mountains. So that's, we just said what, one of those government bunkers, okay, it's called Raven Rock, it's in Pennsylvania, okay. They're going to run into these bunkers to think that they're going to be safe from the Most High. It says, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, hide us from the face of him that sitteth on a throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. You see? So they're going to have that illusion of being saved, okay, in those bunkers, okay? But Scripture says that they go into the cleft of the rocks to hunt them out. Let's see, banners. This is Jeremiah 51 and 1. It said, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me a destroying wind. And what's that destroying wind? That's another code word for the ICBM missiles, you see. And Babylon wasn't taken out like that, you see. Babylon was taken over by the Medes, okay, the Persians, okay, Assyrian Medes. That's how they came to lose their rulership. They were not destroyed by a destroying wind. It said, I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. These nations are going to hate Babylon. It says, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifted himself up in his brigandine, spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. You see? So all these nations are going to come up against America, okay? And then they're going to send these missiles against America as well. That's how America is going to be what? Dethroned, okay? And those bunkers are not going to save any of those elites, celebrities, okay, government officials, okay, because the Most High is going to send his host, okay, and that's including the men of the Lord when they get those new bodies to hunt them out. This is Jeremiah 16 and 16, and it reads, behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them, and after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. So there's no salvation in building these bunkers, man. It doesn't matter how luxurious, okay, multi-million-dollar bunkers, okay, it's going to give Esau, Edom, and these celebrities, okay, the illusion of salvation. But the Most High is going to send hunters, okay, that's going to hunt them from every mountain, from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks, man. You see? So the Most High is absolute in, what he does, man. He doesn't half step. So this is how Esau, Edom, in the end is going to fall. So these bunkers is not going to be anything that's going to stop Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, okay? They can hide in these bunkers, okay? They can hide in these caves, but the Most High is going to send his host, okay? His angels, the men of the Lord, and the new bodies to hunt these devils out, man. You see? So call halal Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, man. He's revealed all these secrets unto us, that this is how Esau Edom is going to come to an end. And Esau Edom is going to have to rebuild, okay, rebuild this world, man. He's going to go into captivity for 1,000 years, and then the Most High is going to do away with him. Now, I pray that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all thanks, all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahar Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the elder apostle, great millstone, who rule well, teach well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.